$1.3 trillion. That's the number. By 2031, that's what the global EV market is projected to be worth. And look, this isn't just some wild speculation. It's the forecast from Mortar Intelligence. A figure that large, well, it's not just a market trend. It's a complete redrawing of the map for capital, for manufacturing, for global industrial strategy itself.
Right now, the market consensus is, well, it's absolute. Battery electric vehicles, BEVs, they account for over 70% of all sales. The momentum behind lithium-ion technology seems structurally unstoppable. It's reinforced by this flywheel of falling costs and rising charger density. From an investment perspective, the case looks pretty much closed.
So, if the case is closed, why are some of the world's most disciplined car makers, we're talking giants like Hyundai and BMW, orchestrating this quiet, multi-billion-dollar defiance against that consensus? Why bet against what looks like a sure thing? This is Auto Read. We decode the machines and the markets that move the world. To really understand the defiance, we first have to respect the consensus. You have to get that the battery electric transition, it's not hype. It is the established baseline reality of the automotive industry today. The latest market report by Mortar Intelligence is crystal clear on the drivers. You've got these aggressive CO2 regulations in China, the EU, and the US that are basically forcing the transition. This gets amplified by the rapid drop in battery costs and the massive build-out of 350 kilowatt-plus charging corridors. On top of that, automakers are adopting 800-volt architectures, which just crushes charge times, making that BEV-first strategy the industry's primary path forward.
And yet, even against all this overwhelming momentum, a calculated, high-stakes hydrogen gamble is underway. This is the strategic divergence we're talking about, a move away from the single technology pathway.
It is absolutely crucial to frame this correctly. This isn't really about hydrogen versus batteries, it's a portfolio management decision. The consensus view is a high conviction bet on a single technology. The defiance, this hydrogen play, is a strategic hedge, a sophisticated insurance policy against the specific and frankly predictable failure modes of an all-battery future.
And this is not some token R&D project. As documented in the official filings from Hyundai Motor Group, the company has committed $21 billion to its U.S. growth strategy between 2025 and 2028, with hydrogen as a core component. This is industrial-scale capital allocation.
And they are not alone. BMW has secured 273 million euros in public funding just to accelerate its fuel cell development. The fact that this is public, state-level money, that signals a validation that goes way beyond the corporate boardroom. This is starting to look like a coordinated industrial strategy. So the logic behind this hedge, you're not going to find it in market reports. It's rooted in the unyielding laws of physics and engineering that actually challenge that BEV-only orthodoxy.
Analysis from the Green Energy Channel articulates this strategy perfectly. Hyundai isn't targeting the consumer passenger car. It's targeting the industrial applications where the engineering trade-offs of batteries become critical bottlenecks. We're talking heavy trucks, logistics, and ports.
And the physics here are just non-negotiable. According to technical data from direct powertrain comparisons, hydrogen fuel cell systems have a massive advantage in specific energy that's measured in watt-hours per kilogram. What that means is, for a given amount of energy, a hydrogen system is simply much, much lighter than a battery. For heavy-duty trucks, where every kilogram of battery is a kilogram of lost payload, this is a pure bottom-line advantage. And this chart, this brilliantly illustrates the second half of the equation, volume. It shows the physical space you need for an energy storage system. See that crossover point? Beyond about 200 miles of range, the physical volume of a lithium-ion battery pack actually becomes larger than a hydrogen storage system. For long-haul logistics, where space is money, this is the inflection point where fuel cells gain a fundamental physical advantage.
All this data builds a pretty clear picture of the future. The outcome isn't a winner-take-all scenario. It's a bifurcation of the market based on optimal use cases.
When you structure the comparative data, the division becomes obvious. A battery electric truck is ideal for depot-based, short-haul routes where you can charge it overnight. But for long-haul, multi-shift operations, that 3 to 4 minute refueling time and minimal payload penalty mean the fuel cell vehicle emerges as the only viable zero-emission solution. And this logic is corroborated by multiple total cost of ownership analyses. And this is exactly where BMW is focused. An analysis by professionals in coffee highlights that BMW sees fast refueling and all-weather performance as the crucial edge.
I mean, long charging times and your range getting slashed in cold climates, those are operational bottlenecks that commercial fleets just cannot tolerate. So here is the critical forecast. The success or failure of this multi-billion-dollar hedge will not be decided in passenger car showrooms. It will be decided by the brutal calculus of total cost of ownership on the balance sheets of the world's largest logistics companies. Which leaves us with a final question. In a world where supply chains require complete end-to-end decarbonization, is a single technology, BEV-only strategy a competitive advantage? Or is it a systemic, operational risk?
For data-driven automotive analysis, support our work by subscribing to AutoRead. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next breakdown.